Welcome back to Sunny Mountain. Today I wanted to show you everything that we've done here at this off-grid homestead in our first year of working on the project, where it was, what it looks like today. When we first found this property, we realized that the big issue was going to be fertility. For a homestead, we needed to have more fertility.
This property is 50 acres of already timbered land. So somebody bought it and he had the lumber company come in and take all the valuable timber. So there's no more value there. But that's okay because it still has value to us. The company who took the trees out also cleared off a big clearing at the top of the mountain. There's no topsoil now, it's kind of been washed away, and there's lots of weeds. They took out a lot of trees, too many trees really.
Here's one of the problems with this place. Look at this. We want to start a farm here. It's literally just rock. There's no topsoil. When they came and logged here, as you can see, they logged, they stumped it. When you stump a property, you remove all the topsoil.
But we can rebuild that.
The only water on the property is, well,
it's not just a puddle.
It's a puddle right there.
No, it's not. You're being dramatic.
We'd have to do some serious catchment projects in the form of like a pond. Which is fun, I've always wanted to do a pond. I've always wanted to put in a pond on our farm. But it's just a project we'd have to do. Basically, you can build fertility, you just kind of need three things. You need some water to hold on the property, you need plants growing, and then you need animals. Those three things working together can increase the fertility of even the most stripped, logged, barren hill of dirt. Let's go find a spot of shade to work from because they don't call it Sunny Mountain for nothing. It is hot already. Oh, nice. Hi, dudes. Come into the shade, it's much nicer.
This might not be a destination, but there's a little tide pool.
When we first found this homestead property, the big problem with it was there was no water.
It wasn't very homestead looking. There was no water, there was no grass, there were no trees up top here.
It was essentially referred to it the first time as Bald Mountain because they'd come in and they had logged it and it was just like dirt.
Yeah.
And it just looked like a big
topsoil, so
bald head.
Yeah, so Sunny Mountain was the more the flattering way to look at it. But we knew with sun, we could grow something.
Yeah, we just needed some sun and we needed some water. So the first project that we did at this homestead was we actually put in a pond. The pond dig begins today. I got an operator who's actually one of Kay's family members, has done ponds for years. He's here helping us do the excavation. I laid this pond out with my parents earlier before we started digging. And now I got my operator, his name is Danny. He's a long distant cousin of Kay's. He's here, he's put in a lot of ponds. He's an amazing operator and he's gonna help us get this in. So this is the future pond location, and this is a pretty important first project for our new homestead because if we can't hold water, we can't move all our animals and our family to this property. So this one's kind of a make or break. This pond has got to work. If you have enough of what they call watershed, which is just area that slopes towards a certain area that you can direct it to and fill up a pond, you can create a pond with rainwater. And so we did.
There's no spring or anything that feeds into this pond, and I have my doubts. I'll be honest. I
think a lot of people have their doubts.
I did not think it would ever be a pond, but it's incredible how just all these swales, now I know about swales, can bring all the water coming up off of this mountain and capture it here. And
Let me my second.
we were really fortunate as well to have found this great, there's clay everywhere here.
All clay in this corner.
It's all clay. So, yeah, so they just dug, this is gonna sound really simplistic, they dug a hole.
Just dug a hole.
Put clay in it and bam, pond.
We dug down in the clay really, really deep to make the depth of the pond. We piled that clay up and we formed a dam. And now the rain would come down the hill and the dam holds it. The clay absorbs the water. It took a solid year before the water actually held level. And there were a lot of people, I think, who doubted that it ever would. But now...
I'm people.
Hey, you did it. Mama, it goes.
Good job.
How? Can we sit on the bottle?
Can we swim? Yeah, remember we went swimming in it?
Can we swim?
We've had about 2 months of drought, and you can see this pond, our drain pipe, we're just a couple inches down from the top of our drain pipes. The pond has been full of water all hot, dry summer long. Earlier this spring, we actually were able to come here with some friends and we went swimming. And
yeah, it's
it's
such a funny, because it's very murky still. But I learned that a clear pond is a dead pond, so we're embracing it, and hopefully we'll get it to start settling a little bit to make it a little clearer. But you walk in there and you're swimming and you're like squishy mud in your feet.
When we first built the pond, we only built one swale, which was over there. It actually was already kind of there, and we just kind of directed it to this area, connected the dots. And that filled the pond. Every rain it would fill up so much, but it wasn't keeping up with the absorption of the clay or the evaporation. We realized that after months and months, the pond just not getting very, very high, we needed more. So that's when we decided to put in another swale. From the top edge of this side of the mountain now, coming all down, there's another swale that connects. So basically, half of Sunny Mountain now, when it rains, and it's a good strong rain, that water comes flying down the mountain, gets caught in the swales, and gets routed right down into the pond. And that second swale made all the difference. That allowed this pond to really come up and keep up with evaporation and keep up with the clay absorption. Most of the greenery that you see here is actually nature taking its course. It's amazing to watch. With any land that you strip bare, there's going to be some early succession growth. And a lot of times that early succession growth, it's mining the nutrients and the minerals down deep that have been washed away in the rains and eroded. It's reaching down, it's pulling them up to the surface. You'll see a lot of really prickly plants. Always when you clear an area, you're going to get the jagger bushes, the raspberry bushes.
Oh yeah, it was terrible to walk through.
The locust trees, and that's basically to keep the animals from killing off that early succession stuff.
We're not tilling, we're not trying to seed anything particular right now. We're just letting grow what wants to grow. Because a lot of the stuff that grows initially, all these weeds and stuff, are growing for a reason. And they protect some of the more fragile grasses and stuff that we want to encourage underneath them.
We did try to kickstart it a little bit. We did spread some seeds. There are a few remnants. You can see our This is some of the rye that we planted.
Pulled out.
Well, it's already dead. It does, I mean, you can see how much biomass is added with all the rye that we threw. So if anything, we did help add a little bit of, you know.
I just think it's awesome that what we had it looked dead, right? The ground just looked dead and stripped and bare. And now look at what we've got growing. And it's not a tidy golf course. It doesn't look like a golf course, but that's okay. It's growth, it's green.
Financially wise, it's better off to let nature do a lot of the tree planting. We did, however, do a couple planting projects here. One of them, we put a lot of evergreens in. Certain areas that were stripped really bare by the loggers that just had no trees, and we wanted to kind of get a little head start. So we did spend some time planting some spruce trees, having those evergreens as a wind block, a privacy screen, and just adding more good fertility to this property. We're at Sunny Mountain today. We're planting on top of this berm that we've put in some Norway spruce and Fraser fir trees. And these are trees that grow very quickly, very tall, and will give a ton of privacy for longer than my lifetime, as long as we plant them right. All right, everybody grab a tree. Yep. Grab the measuring wheel.
I made one in. I put it.
Is it 40 or 41?
Daddy, where can I dig?
It would be 40.
Start digging
Then
the
48.
hole behind them.
48.
You just need to find the 8.
64.
Good job.
It repeats by now, so you just go 8.
Can I just graduate with
Here, let me get you started. Right here, look.
Show them how to use that shovel.
So,
And make sure our holes are in the center of the berm, okay?
So Mr. Tim showed us how to plant these Norway spruce, and now I'm going to show you. So we want to we'll take this, we want it to be at least how would you say?
Double.
Double the size of the bowl. We're going to take it out nice and carefully. This one's tall. Now we're going to cut with this We're going to cut the bottom.
And then down the sides, do you do?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Now we're gonna cut down the sides, 3 slots down the side. Now we can start burying it again. And we want to leave about, we don't want much dirt to be covering this. So we're gonna put it in.
Dad, I need Gollum. Hello, Gollum. Here's your tree delivery.
That's great.
And now I'm gonna grab a bucket of water.
We'll be back. We're going to get water. we see. What are you doing?
So we are back from the water run, and the last step is to water it in. So we're just gonna get a nice bit of water around the tree. And there we have it. You planted your Norway spruce.
And thank you. That whole me, not whole.
Tree bed is now planted.
This is Pokey the tree. Oh, you gotta walk out. That's just I let her take it out, Daddy.
Better. Good, Bob. Good job, buddy.
What are you making?
A house?
For who?
Oh, Louie.
Where is he?
He's in his house.
Last tree.
Look here. All right, the last tree.
Everyone grab a piece of dirt.
Come here, Louie.
Touch the dirt so it counts.
No, it doesn't.
Now you touched it.
I could have made a cheesecake today.
You're telling the Homesteady audience. I could have made a cheesecake.
Think of it. These trees
Peter,
will live
my
longer than you
bed.
will. A
They
cheesecake,
will live longer than the cheesecake.
and the cheesecake would have lasted a day. Let's be honest.
You can have the rest. Should I just give them the rest of the water?
Give some here and here. They each need it.
Yeah, that guy did.
All right, guys, there it is. Everybody, all done.
All done.
Let's go.
And just think, someday, maybe one of your kids will climb these trees.
I'm
not having many kids.
I'm not having kids.
Thanks.
All right, let's go.
Now, believe it or not, we actually have added some livestock to this homestead. It's live, it's stock.
It's a livestock.
It's a livestock.
Yeah, the very first animals we brought here.
They're in there. We haven't
think
seen them.
so.
We still.
We've seen the bullfrogs. We're doing good with our bullfrog herd here at Sunny Mountain.
Once we knew that the pond level was stable, it wasn't gonna, we weren't gonna dump a bunch of fish and frogs into it.
And fry them.
Yeah, fry them. We went and we got ourselves a pond
Stocking kit.
kit There's a company that sells a complete pond stocking kit from the littlest, tiniest, microscopic things that you need in your pond all the way to the bass and the bluegill and the bullfrogs.
Yeah, it's super cool. And because we have a smaller pond, they kind of gave us a half package. And everything came in their little bags and the boxes, and they drove them home, and we all met here to stock the pond.
My parents were with us that day. We had a really nice day, splashing and playing in the water and
Dumping fish in.
This?
you can just
Stop it!
you can pull down.
Mino, they lied to us.
Now these are
All fish starters.
All right, did we see the bluegill yet?
Yeah, we did.
Let's see. Are these the bluegill?
I don't know.
Oh my goodness, they're so little.
Well, they're all gonna be little.
Wow.
Stop it.
Hold on, leave it there. Leave it there. All right, so I'm gonna get my boots on when the thing's down here.
EG.
Okay, I'm going back in.
That's a big drop. All right, here we go.
Come on.
Oh boy. I guess those aren't waterproof.
Are you wet?
We got a little wet. Wet sweater ready.
Oh, wow. Oh, look at these
More
guys.
minnows.
They're churning up the water.
Holy cow, there's a
Wow.
lot of floating.
Holy cow. Wow.
Are they both the same, both boxes? Those are so cool. What are those, honey?
Fishy.
They're gonna love this one, right, Catfish?
What kind of fishies?
Fishy.
Yeah, are they catfish?
Catfish.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you like them? Do they have whiskers?
Shall we stock your cats?
Heavy.
They're heavy.
Heavy.
Dumping out. All right, grab the crappie. All right,
Yeah,
grab the
little
bass.
shrimp,
Everything was
tadpoles.
like an inch big,
Teeny
right?
tiny-
It
Well,
was,
because you don't want to stock like huge bass in with your little crappie, because the crappie will be eaten.
and the idea is within a couple of years, those little teeny tiny ones are growing and growing, and then you can sustain some bigger and bigger fish.
Oh, snails.
Yeah, we had a whole pile of snails. We were throwing them like, snails, you get a snail, you get a snail. Want to stock the cats? All right, let's do that. Got the bag. Got a good hold. It's heavy. Yeah, if you see a red light, it's recording. Slow down. Those are the catfish? Let's go.
Look at all the ripples in our pond now.
Yeah, wow. That's pretty awesome.
Careful, I got the camera. Don't. Let them out.
They're all
Off
out.
they go.
Oh, I can feel them by my feet.
You want to play? Try not to get muddy. Yeah. So foot. Let's go.
What's in here?
Feels like flight. Snail.
Snails. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
They grow those too, huh?
That's dinner.
Go. Oh, they go.
Can I have the fish pet?
Can you
How
have
do you stock a snail?
Sprinkle them around the
I don't know. It probably says in the book.
Yeah.
I hope it says in the book.
No, they're just to add life to the pond and help do stuff.
What have been your favorite fish so far, mister?
I'm a big dog.
What do you like? Which fish?
Catfish.
You like the catfish?
Catfish.
What are your favorite?
Catfish.
Why?
That's why we got them.
Is it just me or do
What are your favorites?
I don't know.
Oh, crappie. Oh, I'm excited about crappie.
that look like crappie?
Yes.
Crappie are my favorite. Now, it was cool to get fish on the property, but to
Yes.
really
And
like,
that was specifically for the fertility of the pond, to really make it its own little ecosystem.
to really get the maximum fertility, to get this place a homestead. For us, that means, well, it means you need cows, right?
Livestock.
We need some animals walking around, eating the grass, eating the forage, pooping.
Pounding in seeds with their hooves.
We didn't want to bring anything here without a good established water, which now we have. And then we also like to make sure there's some shelter.
Yeah, because there's just no shade at the top of the mountain here.
Shade is, I mean, it's Sunny Mountain. We're hiding in the corner here. That's the only place there's shade. Plus, we can get some inclement winds and cold, hard rains, snowy weather eventually up here. So we did need something that we could bring over here. But our first year was kind of coming to a close. Winter was approaching, and because we're not here full time, the road isn't maintained in the winter. So if it snows, the road into the mountain becomes very snowy.
Yeah, it was just the weather was preventing us from doing any more infrastructure work here.
And that's where we tried to figure out, okay, could we build a structure back at our on-grid homestead and then have that structure be movable so that eventually we could get it here for livestock here. So I started trying to figure out, all right, what could we make that would be portable, movable, but also keep enough animals here on Sunny Mountain happy and protected and have shade. And that's when we designed our mobile shade barn.
Mobile
Off-grid,
run-in shelter.
mobile, rainwater
Yeah.
catchment, shade,
Shed.
I don't know.
Cow shed. I
Come up
guess.
with a name for this thing. Here's what we made. She's ready. I got a couple more odds and ends that I have to finish up to totally have it all complete. Like for example, the corner trim on the front. But I want to move the structure, make sure that it moves smoothly, that everything's working right, and then I'll put the final bits on. But you know, 99% there, ready to go. We're gonna pull her out today, do a little rain test with the hose, make sure that works. Hopefully get it all set up and ready because it's supposed to rain a lot tonight and we could start catching water tonight. So here goes nothing. Let's see if this movable barn is actually a movable barn. How do I feel about it? I'm definitely nervous because, I mean, this is the biggest thing I've ever built by myself. I designed it and built it all by myself. I had some advice and some help from my father-in-law and my dad, but I did all the work, so there's that like, I don't know, did I mess anything up? That structure we finished up. Come springtime, we moved it out onto our on-grid homestead, and we tested it out with our livestock at our on-grid homestead, and we've been dragging that thing around all spring, all summer.
It's had its ups and downs. Things have been broken, but fixed.
The first week, I just like totally wrecked one of the walls. I don't know if I've been using this thing a month now. And that.
But now you know.
But now I know. I've adjusted the design, I made some changes, and now we've been moving it all around our property, dragging it to different spots.
It collects water.
It's got a great rainwater catchment system. But it can't keep up with the size of the herd we have at our on-grid homestead, which isn't a problem there, and it's not really a problem here because we have a pond, so we can always have the water we need. We just need to be able to deliver it, so that's future systems. Quick note on the structure. If you would be interested in purchasing the plans, they'd be $10 plans, 3D plans with an instructional step-by-step how-to and a video. Click the link in the description below. That'll put you on my email list, and as soon as I'm finished up with the instructions and the video and everything, I'll email you and you can purchase the plans for this movable, rainwater catching, loafing shed, barn structure. The minute we found this homestead, it started helping to feed our family as a hunting property. So one of the really cool things, we added a hunting blind to the top of Sunny Mountain. You'll see it over there behind my shoulder, hidden.
It was all intentional.
We got that blind up at the top of the hill. A couple of locust trees grew up along the side of it, which has been just kind of perfect. It blends in really nicely. So this coming deer season, we'll be able to rifle hunt off the top. We'll also be able to do some archery hunting in the woods here. And this pond and this forage is a huge attractant for deer. Last year we were able to get a couple deer off this property. This coming season we should be able to really fill the freezers off of Sunny Mountain. I always think of homesteads like a tree, right? Like an apple tree. When you first plant them, you don't get any fruit.
Yeah, and it's super disappointing.
And it's, yeah, when it arrives in the mail, you're like, I bought an apple tree, and it's like a little stick. And
they're like, in 5 years, your tree will produce, and it seems like an eternity.
Fortunately for us, we have the family farm, which we're managing. That's our on-grid family farm. We're able to produce all our family's meat, vegetables, fruits, all kinds from that.
My parents are on the same property, so they're able to grow some produce.
They grow the vegetables.
They grow the berries and the vegetables. So
we
yeah,
trade for meat.
It's a nice group effort for all of us.
Meanwhile, this little fruit tree that we've planted was really slow to develop at first.
And it seemed like it was going to take forever for anything to happen.
Yeah.
For a pond to fill, for forage to grow.
And have any kind of wildlife or animals or livestock.
But now we've got
all
the
that.
Pond, we've got the ponds full. We've got trees growing. We've got deer coming in here now.
And the possibilities going forward for this place are just endless. We just gotta choose what we'd like to do next.
Keep working on it.
You need a diving board.
Woo! Oh, that feels so good. Oh. Woo! Now, to be honest, we thought we were gonna have a lot more done on this off-grid homestead. But then we went and lived in Alaska for the summer. Finally made it to Alaska.
Yeah, let's go see
Let's go see the cabin. And, well, stake this land as a bathroom. That changed a lot. If you've ever spent time in the wild north, then maybe you'll understand the words of Robert Service in his poem, The Spell of the Yukon. There are hardships that nobody reckons. There are valleys, unpeopled and still. There's a land, oh, it beckons and beckons, and I want to go back. And I will. Well, I survived.